parties have come forward with offers of around 50, 60 million pounds, which seems to be more than enough to any normal human being for a club like Sheffield Wednesday. But instead, what they've been quoted back is, sort of Premier League level valuations, which seems absolutely mad, doesn't it? Because if this was a club who were on the edge of the Premier League, then maybe you could make excuses for it. But it's Sheffield Wednesday, a club who have been stuck in the Championship / League One now for several years, don't seem to be progressing any further, don't seem to have a huge amount of talent / big assets available on their roster. And as we sit here right now, they've just been given a 3-window ban, which means they won't be able to pay transfer fees for any players for the next 3 windows. So until January 2027. So what's the attraction here for investors? We know Sheffield Wednesday are a massive club. I get that. But going forwards, there doesn't seem to be much else in the way of attraction to me if I was a wealthy businessman. The other thing I would say is that the rumours, for the lack of a better term, that I've been hearing is that Chansiri may not be able to afford anything lower than what he's been quoting. And if that is the case, then, well, Sheffield Wednesday are stuck in limbo for the foreseeable future, Justin, which is a really, really scary thought.
Well, and that's why I alluded to us, when we're having episode by episode updates on certain clubs, it never really ends well. It ends in the most difficult circumstances for those clubs, and it's not good. And I think Sheffield Wednesday, similar to Derby, similar to any clubs that find themselves in this situation, it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. Not in 2025, after we've had numerous clubs have to go through it. But unfortunately, I think the longer this goes on, the less attractive Sheffield Wednesday becomes, and ultimately that's going to affect the value that they're going to be valued at. Simple.
Yeah, and it's just going to keep going down and down and down, particularly if the fear that has been spoken about in recent weeks happens, where if the Wednesday players who haven't been paid don't get paid again in the next payday, then they have the right to rip up their contracts and walk away, given a certain amount of notice. And then that would just make Wednesday even less attractive. So what I just don't really understand what the goal is for Chansiri, whether he just needs to accept his losses and just move on, leave everyone else to their own devices. I really don't know what is going to be the end of this saga, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to happen very soon.